What's up, you guys? This is Craxy, aka Body Bags, here to bring you part 2 of my 4-part series on Know Your COD history. Now, this is going to be basically the first part of my Know Your Call of Duty series, even though I had a commentary before this. That was basically the introduction. I will have 2 more commentaries following this. This one is going to be about Call of Duty 4, hence the Call of Duty 4 gameplay, and I thought to myself, what better way to showcase Call of Duty 4 at its finest than with a shipment domination 6v6. And this was such a fun game for me. I just had a blast playing this, and to be honest, I don't really have fun playing, games anymore. It's become really competitive for me, and it's been really hard to actually have fun. And I understand, I know that's just me, it's not just games in general. That's just me becoming more competitive, and that's just my competitive nature being brought out. So, but this was just so much fun for me to play. I just had a blast doing this. And I don't want to talk about the gameplay because it's obviously self-explanatory. It's shipment, it's just kill, 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 kill. So, we're going to go straight into it about knowing your COD history and what made this game great and what were its downfalls. Well, for starters, Call of Duty 4, in my opinion, had the best, most fun, simple, addictive gameplay I've ever felt in an FPS before. And I've played quite a few FPSs. I've come from all the way from Game Boy, all the way up through PS1, PS2, and now finally PS3. I've played on other systems as well. I've played my fair share of FPSs, and I think Call of Duty 4, just the way everything moves so fluidly, every movement you made, aiming down your sights, reloading your weapon, felt not only real, but it felt fluid and not like robotic and designed. It just felt like you were doing it, and that's what I was just so dragged into this game for. The simplistic perk system was just, even though the perk system was a new addition, they did it so perfectly. I mean, it was the first time doing it, and they just knocked themselves out doing it. They did an amazing job coming from, Infinity Ward picking it up from Treyarch, coming from Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3. Introducing the perk system was really good. The perks were balanced. Even though people have a problem with Juggernaut and Martyrdom, yes, was annoying, and it really served no purpose. It's kind of like Death Streaks in Modern Warfare 2, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Juggernaut was not really that big of an issue. You put stopping power on something, and it cuts through Juggernaut fairly easily, so it's not really a problem with that. The guns were balanced. It wasn't, even though most people use the MP5 or M16 as a choice for either SMG or assault rifle, people still used other guns because they enjoyed using them, even though the M16 was the kill horse weapon of choice. And people use it because it was a good gun. It wasn't the most overpowered gun in the game. It wasn't a titular, game-changing weapon. Same thing with the MP5. It was a good gun, and people found a use for it, but it wasn't overpowerful and, destroying the game. The maps, and this is a big part. People don't put too much thought in it, but the maps are a very, very big part of FPSs. To have balanced, good, not one-sided to the point where you're playing an objective game and one side has an advantage over the other side because of higher ground or more cover or, strategically placed buildings or, just boxes of cover. Anything that can make it one-sided for one team is what people want to avoid in an FPS, and especially in a competitive objective FPS. And if you look at Call of Duty 4 maps like Backlot, District, even Shipment, just completely symmetrical, but it was still good because it wasn't one-sided at all, completely just neutral. There wasn't a one better side. Each side on every map for pretty much every game mode had its advantages. Take District Sabotage, for example. The best thing to do in District Sabotage was to take the top street and just keep control of that. You never wanted to give up control of top street. And you used it to grab control if you spawned on, I'm forgetting the call out for it, forgive me guys. On the side opposite from Market in the headquarters house, if you spawned there, you wanted to bring it up top street and bring it back all the way through the bottom of top street and then cut through Market and plant the bomb. Same thing with the opposite side. You bring it up to the top of the street and come down to the bomb. So each spot had its advantages. Same thing with every map. Not just one-sided, waiting for a good side to come up and then we're going to, go attack or we're going to go harder or we're going to play defense, because it's all about that one side. Call of Duty 4 did an amazing job not doing that, which is another thing I just felt was a great thing that they did. And the biggest thing, if not the biggest thing, one of the biggest things of Call of Duty 4 was the sniping. Now, sniping from Call of Duty 4 had come over, quickscoping had started, basically Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 3 was kind of a flop, so it can't be really considered in, know your COD history, because it was kind of a flop of a game. Now, sniping on Call of Duty 2, if most of y'all don't know already, was just as fast as Modern Warfare 2 is with Sleight of Hand Pro with the scope attached on Call of Duty 2. If you didn't know, Call of Duty 2 sniping, it was considered to have more skill to not use a scope and use the iron sights than rather to use a scope. So people would use iron sights, and you were only allowed one sniper scope per team because of how fast it scoped in. So what they did with Call of Duty 4 is they slowed it down a little bit and made the hitbox a little bit smaller, because on Call of Duty 2 the hitbox was very, very, very big, and it was basically anywhere you hit was a one-shot kill. When you play Call of Duty 4, it's very precise, very exact, very fluid, very not too slow and not too fast. It made it for a perfect sniping speed. It was just amazing. To snipe on Call of Duty 4 was the most gratifying experience I think I've ever had playing an FPS or any game in general. I don't, for using a red gun, using a light machine gun, a shotgun, nothing could compare to Call of Duty 4 just nailing the great quickscope halfway across the map, for the round winner in Search and Destroy or something like that, Just felt really good and felt really gratifying. You also, when you sniped in Call of Duty 4, as long as you obviously had stopping power on, you got less hit markers, which hit markers in Modern Warfare 2, which I will get ahead of myself, is a huge deal, and hit markers are a pain. And when you get a hit marker off a really good shot, it really does just dampen your spirits and just makes you mad and doesn't want to, it makes you not want to play anymore. So a good thing was there was a lot less hit markers, even though they still are there, but they were a whole lot less. Okay? And another great thing about Call of Duty 4 was the kill streaks. Kill streaks were so simple, there was just 3: UAV, airstrike, and chopper. Okay, now the UAV obviously was good because it was a nice 30 seconds, every 2.5 seconds I think it was for the radar to come in again. You would get, a nice little blip of where the enemy was. Now, airstrike, even though it rarely hit where you wanted it to, when it did, it got you a couple kills, which was nice. And the helicopter, it didn't get you so many kills to where it was overpowering. People just camped to get helicopters, which was really, really good, and I like that. And overall, I mean, there's nothing really bad to say about Call of Duty 4. Everything was amazing in this game. The game speaks for itself. You play this game for more than an hour at a time and have some fun, and the game will speak for itself. Now, this wraps up my Call of Duty 4 version or episode of Know Your COD History. But be looking for my next one, World at War, which will be really fun and it'll be really interesting to go through. Till then, have a great day, guys.